Yo, yo, yo. What up, Facebook? What up, YouTube? What's going on, guys? Okay, who do we have here joining us today? We've got Jennifer. Come on down. What's going on, girl? We've got Darlene. What's happening? What is happening? We've got Ron Mayberry. What's happening, brother? How are you? How are you? Okay, guys, listen, I want to talk to you today about a question that I get quite often from people that are looking to either start a business, or they're looking for an additional income stream, or they're with a network marketing company, but they can't seem to get their company into what I call traction, to get liftoff in their business. Okay. Now, the question is this. Okay, let me just say hello to a couple more people here. We've got Blake live. Awesome. Great to see you here. We've got Chrissy. What's going on, girl? Friends for Life program. What's up? We've got Idris. Good to see you here. We've got Paul Gerard coming in from Ireland. Victoria Clemens, what's going on, girl? We've got Chrissy, yo, yo, yo. We've got Angeline live from New York. We've got Adriana, good to see you here. Good afternoon. We've got Weebay live just in time. Awesome. We've got Rachel live. Good to see you here. Okay, guys, here's the thing. You know, this is a concept that you really have to really give this some really good thought in the event that you're looking to start any type of business or get to what I call a full-time income the fastest. Okay. Now, typically the most common number, okay, and I'm telling you this, the number's been the same for 3 decades. Okay. The number has been the same. Okay. It's 10,000 a month. That is what people consider to be their launch pad, okay, to get to freedom. And truthfully, it is. You know, like once a person is pulling 10 grand a month consistently, now they can start to have a little bit of flexibility. They're not under a lot of pressure or a lot of stress with credit card debt and sort of falling behind with their, you know, their monthly bills. Okay. Now, here's a couple things to keep in mind. Okay, first of all, the average North American family income is between $3,000 and $5,000 a month. Okay, the statistics, you can look those up on Google, and that's the average income for the North American family. But most people's vision as their stepping stone to walk away from corporate America is 10 grand. Okay, so $120,000 a year. Now, very, very important that you take into consideration the taxes, okay? Because Uncle Sam is always going to get paid. And a lot of people, what happens is when they do get traction and liftoff, that's the one thing that they forget about. And then they spend the money, especially if you're with an MLM company and you think that you have residual income coming in, but you don't take into account this one thing, okay? It's called attrition. Now, when I first got into this industry, my millionaire mentors were completely transparent. They said, Darren, just so you know, when you recruit, say, 100 people, at the end of the first year, if you have 10 of the original people left that are still on auto ship, that are still promoting the business, you're doing awesome. Okay, so they didn't set me up for failure, but what a lot of people don't understand is that the attrition rate of people leaving your business on the back end is typically going to be roughly 10% per month, okay, per month. So 10% month 1, 10% month 2, 10% month 3, and it kind of goes down. Now, the goal is to be able to have enough momentum of the energy that the amount of people coming in the front end is way larger than the people that are leaving on the back end. And at some point in time in the organization, it goes and it explodes into rapid duplication. In the event that you have systems in place, in the event that you have strong leadership, that's typically what happens. Okay. And there's a certain point in the growth curve of the people that you have on the team before it goes bam and it goes completely viral. Okay. Now, so people say, well, Darren, what's the best strategy? What's the best strategy? Is it to go with low ticket, right? Low ticket, like something that's $25 a month or $100 a month, or is the best strategy to go with high ticket? Okay. Now, I can tell you that there's a couple things that you have to take into consideration, and I'm going to give you some data on today's broadcast that will help you to really understand a lot about the psychology behind the whole process. Okay. So in the event that you're targeting people with a low ticket offer, right, which is something that's under $100, a lot of people will go, oh, well, I'll just go get a lot of those people. Okay. So for you to get to a $10,000 month income, you would have to do 100 sales. Okay. 100 versus if you're working with something that's paying you, say, $1,000, you only need 10. Okay. Now, I want to talk to you about the difference between these two categories. Typically, what I have found from all the data that I've generated over the last 3 decades is typically, for the most part, not all the time, okay, not all the time, but for the most part, the people that you're going to attract on a lower ticket product are people that have not done any personal development and they don't have any marketing skills or leadership skills. So the amount of your personal effort, if you ever want to get to the bam, right, is quite significant. Okay. And the vibrational resonance of the people that are in this particular zone. And don't get me wrong, guys, I'm not putting down those, these people. Okay. But I'm just telling you that what the data shows. Right? So the data shows that these people will take a ridiculous amount of your personal time, and they are typically people that are stuck in what's called victimhood. Okay, so the reason that they're where they are in their life at this particular point in time is because they haven't invested into themselves and they don't have any marketing skills or they don't have any leadership skills. Okay, so you got to ask yourself which path is going to work best for you, because the core of the industry, whether it's the network marketing industry, MLM, affiliate marketing, online marketing, it's a personal development leadership business model. So what you're actually doing is, especially if you're on the path of leadership and you're on the path of peak performance, you're putting your own vibration, okay, into a vibration that in the event that you're on a lot of Zoom broadcasts or team type of things where you're the leader, you're on an energy portal. Okay. Now, if you've got, say, 100 people that are in this vibration, it will drain your body. It will drain your life energy completely right out of you until your income that was up here starts to get pulled down to their income down here. Okay, so the whole concept is it's quantum physics. Okay, so it's a vibrational resonance. So in other words, in the event that the 5 people that you hang out with the most every single day are higher income earners than you are, you typically go up the ladder to morph into their vibrational resonance and you start making more money. Okay, so it's like birds of a feather flock together. So in other words, if you make a list, okay, and I encourage you to actually do this today. So make a list of the 5 people that you hang out with the most, so that you You talk on the phone, you talk on Skype, you're meeting on Zoom broadcasts together, you're hanging out, you're going out for dinner. Make a list of the 5 people and write out their names. Okay, the 5 people that you spend the majority amount of time with every single day. And then beside their name, put their income. Okay, so whatever their incomes are, and then add them all up, divide it by 5, and you will have your income plus or minus $10,000. Now, until you actually do this exercise, you'll probably go like, I don't believe it, until you actually do it. Okay, so the people that you're around the most, this here is what's called an energy portal. Okay, this here that we're on right now is called an energy portal. So the energy transfers back and forth between the people. Now, in the event that you're the leader and you're on a portal, an energy portal with the people that are in this lower vibration, it will pull your vibration down and it will lower your income until finally you're making what they make. Okay, so it'll actually stunt the growth of your business, and it will stunt the growth of you getting to your dream, okay, of freedom. So, and the amount of work, actually, I will tell you this. So in other words, the amount of questions that you get from these people, okay, and the amount of time that they will take just to their last $100 to get into whatever it is that you're doing, the amount of questions that comes from here, some people call these people the tire kickers. Like, they'll ask for the same information a dozen times. They'll never do anything, okay? These people here have a higher level of skill, okay? They're in a higher vibrational resonance. And even if they're down here, they're reaching up to go to the next level. Okay, so what do I mean by that? So in other words, when I did my test, so I have one particular income stream, and it's generated about $425,000 roughly, okay? And I wanted to test this. I wanted to actually get the data so I could share it with people. So I sort of went out and took a hit for the team, okay? So I ran a campaign. And I thought, okay, I'm going to just test this just to confirm what I believe is true. And of the $425,000 that came in for revenues, there was roughly about $4,500, okay, of people that bought the low ticket products. Okay, now here's what I'll tell you about the data. Okay, the first thing is the people don't have enough skin in the game, so they're not really committed. So they don't show up, okay? And 80% of success is just about showing up. So the people they don't have enough in it for it to even be, oh, no big deal. It's like $100, right? So they're not committed to going for their dream. So you really, so you're sort of exchanging the fact that you have to take your vibration from here down to here on an energy portal constantly, and lower your vibration. Okay. Now, we did another test when we first rolled out Black Ops, where what we would do is we had different chat groups. As somebody came in, they would go into the first chat, and then once they made one sale, they would move to the next chat, and then once they made like 5 sales, they would move to the next chat. So there was 3 different chats. Okay. Here's the interesting thing. The low-level chat was the one that had the most amount of drama. The low-level chat had the people that were always whining and complaining and whack, like this, right? That's insanity. And then as you moved up to the higher levels, there was like, in this one up here, the one where people were cranking it, there was no drama. There was no problems at all. And the only thing that went into those groups was value from those people, okay? Versus the people that were in the low-level chats that were the ones that were the whiners and the complainers and the drama, and they were in arguments with each other. It was unbelievable, okay? And what ended up happening, because like Ari, my business partner, he's got a lot more patience than I do to deal with that energy. Like I don't want to deal with it myself. Okay. So for Ari to say, you know what, I think we're going to close the chats down. Like we just stopped doing the group chats because this low level chat here took so much of an energy drain that it wasn't worth, giving up our time to deal with this vibration. Okay. So we eliminated them. Okay. Now, out of the roughly $4,500 of the $425,000, none of those people, none of them, okay, ever did an upgrade. Okay. None of them ever had a breakthrough or stepped into their power because they never even showed up. Okay. So the question that you really have to ask yourself is this. The first thing is, do you really want to put yourself into the vibrational frequency? Okay, number one. Number two, what is it going to do to your whole outlook when you're constantly in the drama, dealing with people that have zero skills, no skills at all? Okay, so they're counting on you as the crutch to literally do everything for them. Okay, and I can tell you that it will drain you. It will drain you until it drains you down to, where you're flatline, where you can't even get up. You're like flatline on the couch and you can't function for the rest of your day. It will drain your life energy. Okay. So, plus you've got to do 10 times more. Okay. 10 times more to get the same amount of money. So it's 100 sales here and it's 10 sales here. And you've got a situation whereby your the amount of work that you have to do is probably 100 times, okay, to not make any money and to deal with this vibrational resonance of the drama. Okay, so people say, Darren, well, what's the secret? Like, what is it that you do to get yourself into the mindset where, like 1,500 or 2,000 or 5,000 or 10 grand or whatever, this part is like no big deal in your mind? Like, what's the secret to that? The thing that you have to understand about this whole process, guys, is that your net worth will never, ever exceed your self-worth. So it's not even about the price tag. It's about whether or not you feel worthy and deserving to go to the next level over here, right? That's really what it has to do with. It has to do with self-worth. Self-worth, guys, okay? This is why we tell people that the whole path to get to 7 figures and higher really has to do with mindset. Is 95%, 95, okay? 95% is right here in your head, okay? And you've got to feel worthy and deserving of abundance. You have to realize that abundance is your birthright, and there's not enough money in the world that can pay you for your worth, okay? Now, people say, well, I bought the product, but I can't sell the product, okay? The reason that happens is that you're focused on whatever the products are, okay? Whatever the products are, whatever the company is, whatever the comp plan is, and that's not how our industry is done, okay? And that's the problem. What you'll find is that, like, if you ever watch top income earners do recruiting, what you'll find is that they never talk about companies and products and comp plans, right? The people that really go like when Ari and I rolled out our Black Ops deal, in the first 35 days, we made $240,000 in profit, right? What was the secret? Okay, what propels you up to this next level? So when the entry price is down here, okay, so this was, I think, $1,349 entry. What we typically do is we create so much value that the value is up here. Okay, so the value that we were providing to the people was over $22,000 in value, but they were only paying $1,349. So my question to you is, what were they really buying? What were the people really buying? This is what they wanted. this thing is what they wanted. It had nothing to do with this thing. They were focused on this, right? This is what they were actually purchasing. You see the difference here with this, guys? So I can tell you, let me just tune in real quick here and see who we have that just showed up. We have a ton of people that just showed up. Okay, we have Lonnie Hogan. Come on down. How are you doing, brother? Good to see you here. We've got Chrissy, the Friends for Life program. We've got Mitchell. How are you, sir? Angeline says Friends for Life. Yes. What's up, everyone? Tuning in for the value, as always, from Darren, Facebook user. Welcome. How are you? Mitchell, hello, hello. We've got Idris. Welcome. Facebook user says, hello, how are you? Make sure you put some capital aside for taxes. I'm dealing with that currently. Guys, I'm telling you, that one area can completely take you out, okay? Completely. People, especially if you're brand new to the MLM model or to a team building model, typically what happens, just so you know, is people go through what's called the honeymoon phase, okay, the honeymoon phase. So if this is the place that they start, the honeymoon phase can typically last roughly 30 to 90 days. Okay, that's the honeymoon phase, okay? After the honeymoon phase, people realize they actually have to do some work. Whoops, right? So then all of a sudden they're like, well, I don't know if we really want to do this, right? So the honeymoon phase is between 30 and 90 days. That's when they're like, whoa, euphoria. Oh my God, I'm going to make all this money. And then when they realize they actually have to do some work and that the journey is to the stage, that's where the journey is. That's why it's a personal development journey, because the person with the message is the person that makes the money in our industry. Okay. So the journey is to be the person with the message. So, you know, I can tell you this just from like tons of different rollouts and launch campaigns that, you know, your vibration of where you are, the goal in the circle is for your 5 people that you hang out with the most, for their incomes. If you're down here, you want their incomes to be up here so that you can morph into this other reality. That's truly the goal. Okay, we got that. Facebook user says, LOL, yes. I've been struggling for 3 years to make sales. That's a long time for no sales. You know what, Darius, feel free to reach out to me. We can get you on the right path. It's really not a difficult process, but you have to understand all the foundational principles. The problem truly, guys, just so you know, that people that come over here from corporate America, they only know certain things, and they try to take these skills and transfer them directly over to a completely different business model. And it's like taking a round peg and trying to jam it into a square hole. It will never fit. It will never, ever, ever, ever fit. You can jam it and pound it and hammer it. It will not fit. And this is why the failure rate is so high at 97%, because people are trying to take one model that they know and jam it into another model that's completely different. It's not, you know, cold calls, book appointments, pitch your deal, and deal with the objections. That's not our business model. And this is why the failure rate is so high. I was thinking about this the other day, low ticket versus high ticket. Thank you for bringing light to this. Absolutely happy to help. Fernando coming in from Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome. I was thinking the same thing too, low ticket versus high ticket. Great minds think alike. Awesome. Way to go, ladies. That's right. That's right. Adri, how are you? Good to see you here. We got a tag. Awesome. Facebook user says, interesting. I think that's Bob Proctor that you're thinking about. Not Rob Proctor, but maybe he's got a son or something. Absolutely experienced this energy draining with a low quality client this month. I let her go. Okay. Pay close attention to what Renee is saying here, guys. Okay. Pay close attention to what she's saying. The people that are in a low vibration, that have not done any personal development and they haven't invested anything into themselves as far as marketing skills and leadership skills, they're typically, not all the time, but the majority of the time, they're in the first level of the game of personal development, which is called victimhood. Okay. And that will drain your life energy completely. Okay. Will take you out. Will completely take you out. Okay. Facebook user, loving this, Darren. Have to come back to watch the replay. Awesome. You have to let lower vibrational people go from your reality. You know, like, here's the thing, guys. Here's what one of my mentors sort of trained me on. Okay, it was Dr. Lee Poulos. He was a clinical psychologist, and I was working with him as vice president for 3 years. Okay, he got me to recognize a certain feeling in my body. Okay, and it's typically a turning feeling in your stomach. Okay, and that was my like red alert, red alert, red alert, red alert, that I needed to leave. Okay, the environment of whatever that I was in. Now, the challenge for a lot of people is if that is your family, okay, if that's your family or your spouse, you've got a serious problem to deal with. And you have to recognize the warning sign. Your body will give you a warning sign to get out of the room or to go for a walk or to go to the forest, right? So in the event that you're dealing with a negative spouse, there's a high probability that you're going to have to set some healthy boundaries in place, okay? And then you have to police the boundaries. So in other words, you can say, you know what, I know that you have good intention, but I'm just telling you that the things that you're saying about my business are taking me out of my zone, and I just need to have a agreement with you that you're never going to talk about my business. Okay, it's a boundary, and you have to set the boundary in place in order to protect your dream. It's like being in a bubble, a protective bubble. Okay, you may have to do your business in a library, or you may have to do your business in a Starbucks or something out of that energy. Now, in the event that you're living at home with your parents, it may be the same thing for you. So you may have to go to a library, or you may have to go to a Starbucks when you're going to work on your business. But in the event that you do not set the boundaries in place, you are teaching the person that it's okay to treat you that way. And it's up to you to set the boundaries. And then it's up to you to police the boundaries. So don't break the boundary yourself. Now, what do I mean by that? So if you set the boundary, like, don't talk about my business, but then you start talking about your business, you broke your own boundary that you've set for yourself to protect yourself. So a lot of people will go back and forth between that, and they don't have boundaries in place, or when they do set them, they break them themselves, and they set themselves up for another fall with their spouse or their parents or whatever. So be aware of that. Okay. High ticket clients are a pleasure to work with. Love my high ticket clients. Awesome. Low ticket clients have too much victim mindset still. You're correct. Darlene says, wow, I would much prefer to work with high ticket clients, not low ticket. Low ticket people are a drain and a victim mindset. You're correct. Chrissy says, same here. I agree with you, Lisa. Exactly, Angeline. This is 100% true. I'm also experiencing this. I've taken my focus from only closing high ticket to also growing our low barrier products, and it's completely drained me. And my pipeline has decreased significantly. Pay attention, guys. Okay, pay attention to this. This is coming from other entrepreneurs. Okay, so I'm sharing with you my data, the data that I've done multiple times now. Okay, because as leaders, we have a tendency to want to, try to help everybody. And what happened after a certain point in time, once I got all the data, what I did was just went like this with my protection. Okay, so in other words, like, we have one gentleman that was only making $160 a month working full-time in Mexico. Okay, now I could have gone down to a little lower level and say, oh, no problem, you can start for $130, right? But instead, I'd rather empower them to step into their power to go get the money. Okay, now From the time that he did that, where he lifted up his energy to go get the money, he's made $250,000. Okay, the guy that was making $160 a month, he's made $250,000 in 2 years, and his life's completely transformed. Okay, we had another gentleman that was living on a couch of a friend's house, completely homeless. He at the time, this is 5-6 years back, he was addicted to drugs, he addicted to alcohol, and he'd pretty much burned all the bridges of his family and his closest friends and everything else. Okay, he sold all of his electronics that he had, anything that he had left, he sold everything to be able to get into Millionaire Mentoring. Month 6, he had a $20,000 month, and it's now like between 5 and 6 years later, and he's now the CEO of his own MLM company, guys. The guy that was homeless. Now think about this. Think about what was different. He was empowered to lift up his vibration, and when that happened, the people that were in his close network, they totally changed in his reality. So even the people that he had previously burnt bridges with, they saw a change in him. So he was able to get support from some people in his close network to be able to get a loan from them to get in, and bam, he's been a rocket launcher ever since. Okay, so something to definitely keep in mind with this. The high ticket weeds out the wannabe entrepreneurs and the real entrepreneurs. Okay, you're absolutely right with that. Who do we got here? We've got Ariel says yes. Nice cover photo. Thank you. Hi, Darren. I like this live video. Thank you, Dawn. Great to see you here. Hi, Darren. Oberon. Great to see you here. Okay. Ciao, Darren. How are you? Thank you, Darren. Glad to be here. Thank you. Great to have you here. Oh, that's the Rob Proctor you're talking about. I thought you were talking about Bob Proctor, right? The guy that talks about law of attraction. Okay, value. Thank you, Darren. Got to run. Okay, thanks for tuning in. Aaron tuning in live from Sydney. Jorn tuning in from the Netherlands. You can't fit a circle into a square. You're correct. Just tuning in. Great to see you here. What Renee says is really important. Get rid of the crabs. Okay. Good evening from a Facebook user. This is exactly what I need. Great to see you, Jessica. Thank you. You're welcome. LOL, I am at the library. Okay, well, that's okay. Well, hopefully you got your boundaries set in place too, though, also, Mitchell, when you get home, because that's very, very important. I'm working from Starbucks, LOL. Okay, guys, keep this in mind. Whoever your spouse, the situation that you're in, there's a high probability, okay, a high probability that you caught the vision of residual income and duplication and freedom. And you may have tried 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different times and stumbled and fallen. So, and maybe even gone in debt, and now your spouse is kind of responsible for that debt too. So as soon as you talk about the industry, they're already pissed off. Like I've had people that have contacted me and asked me if they can secretly do Millionaire Mentoring. Like they don't want their spouse to even know. Okay, they don't want their spouse to even know. Okay, so they still want to do it, but they don't want their spouse to know that they're doing it. Okay, so you got to have boundaries set in place, guys. It's very, very critical. Okay, I'm telling you, you'll thank me later once you see the change that it makes in your marriage. My family is negative, but my wife is awesome when it comes to my business. That's great news. Were the kids and I watching you on the TV? Awesome, cool. That's very cool. Dealing with negative family members. They don't understand. I'm just staying quiet about it because arguing sucks the energy. You're correct. I refuse to fall victim. Not going to happen. Okay, Victoria Clements, absolutely. Low ticket people, whiners and wankers, unfortunately. You're correct. Lisa says, good for him. That's awesome. Catching the live stream. Way to go, Mark. The desire to succeed. Lots of value, Darren. Thank you so much. Happy to help. Hey, TJ, feel free to reach out to me, brother. Let's get you back on track. I saw some of the stuff that you posted on your wall, and just know that there is a gateway, okay? The gateway is there. It does exist. And the problem, truth be known, that most people have, guys, is they try and wing it. They really don't understand our industry. They don't understand what the action steps are to do. And they, like, here's an example. Like, I saw somebody post on the newsfeed today, like, you know, keep on posting, even if nobody's watching. I disagree with that. I completely disagree with that. So in other words, if you put out a post and you look at the timer, there's a timer that shows how long that post has been up. And 1 hour goes by and it's crickets. What the data is telling you is you have no audience. Okay, you have no audience. And it's not going to change tomorrow. It's not going to change a month from now, 6 months from now, 10 years from now. If you don't know what to do to go get an audience, you'll be doing Facebook Lives 10 years from now. It'll be the same data that you're dealing with today. Okay, keep this in mind. The data doesn't lie. Look at your data, right? Just look at the numbers. So if a post has been up for 15 hours and it's crickets, you've got no audience. And it's not going to change if you do a Facebook Live tomorrow or next week. There's nobody there. So you basically have a megaphone in a forest and you're broadcasting to the trees. The trees don't have credit cards. Sorry to tell you. So you're not going to make any money, and it's going to be a frustration. And a lot of people just throw in the towel and they give up. They think that somehow, some way, it's just going to magically explode. It doesn't work like that, guys. Okay. First of all, you need the right type of audience. So in other words, there's some people that have a ridiculous amount of engagement, but they're the wrong type of buyers, right? They're the wrong type of people swarming around them. So it's an illusion on their wall. You may look at their posts and see 350 or 400, engagements and go, oh my God, they must be crushing it, right? And then you find out that they're not making any money at all. They're the wrong people, okay? Entrepreneurs, guys, just so you understand this, there's only two types of people that are ever going to become an entrepreneur. Two types. They're either in a state of transition in their life or they've reached a breaking point, or a combination of those two things. The rest of the people aren't qualified, okay? The rest of the people are not qualified, so keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Okay, we got a whole slew of comments that just popped in here. Okay. Ariel says LMAO, so true. I made it clear I wasn't giving up on my dream. Way to go, Melody. Way to go, standing ovation. Watching from Pakistan, awesome. This is awesome, thank you. Okay, real talk with Darren live. Mark Preston, you cracked me up. I don't want crickets. Okay, LOL. Provide value and they will come. That's not actually true, Victoria. That's not true, okay? Especially on social media. In the event that there's nobody there. So if, in other words, if you have a brand new Facebook account and there's nobody there, right? You're not going to, they're not, you could have the best value in the world. There's nobody there. So in other words, you could go to a forest with an amazing motivational, transformational seminar and set up a podium and speak to the trees. Does anybody want to buy? Oh, we got a special offer. There's nobody there, and it won't change unless you go get an audience on social media. Jessica says, yes, that's right. You don't want crickets, but you want the right audience. Okay, live from MO. Awesome. No quit in my DNA. Okay, well, that's good. Well, the missing component a lot of times, TJ, is mentorship, okay? So in other words, okay, so here's a great story, okay? And this is the difference. And I want for you to really understand this, because one of my students, he started probably when he was around 17 years old, okay? And he was making $800 a month working at a factory over in the, actually it was 800 pounds a month, which is more. He was working in a factory. in a warehouse, right? And he thought that paid traffic was going to take him to the promised land. So what he did was he took his entire savings account, which he had saved up roughly about $2,000, and he just went burned through all the way through that, right down to the where he started again. Okay, but he had bought the Millionaire Mentoring Program, but he didn't open up the box. Okay, so he went for 18 months. 18 months, guys. Okay, making no money at all, zero. Okay, and it obviously becomes frustrating when you're working for a year and a half and you have a dream and nothing's happening. Okay, and then he went, oh my God, I forgot. I bought the Millionaire Mentoring Program. I think I'm going to go through it. Okay, so he went through there's 3 training videos that you go through. We tell people to go through them 6 times in a row so that their DNA, their understanding what is polarity so that they can get the concept. And from that point to the next 18 months, he made $250,000. Okay, so what happened on the first 18 months? He had no mentorship. What happened on the second 18 months? He had mentorship. Okay, so 0 over here, 250,000 over here. Okay, big difference. His name is Josh Cousins, and if you haven't seen him on Facebook, he's got great value, and he's only 20 years old, and he's probably now, because I interviewed him probably like 2 months ago, he's probably close to over 300,000, if not more, from learning what he's from applying what he's learned from us. Okay, so keep that in mind. It's not necessarily that you don't have the value, TJ. Okay, it has nothing to do with that. It's on whether or not there's people there. And it's not going to change unless you learn how to go get the audience and attract the right type of buyers to be able to come to you. Okay. So in summary, guys, low ticket or high ticket. Okay. Based upon what you've heard on today's broadcast, the people that are tuning in right now, tell me what you think that the result would be on the way to go. Okay. So if you believe that low ticket is the way to go, then write down in the comments, low ticket. Okay. In the event that you think that, wow, I'd rather do way less work, deal with a way higher vibrational resonance of people than and be in a situation where I'm going up like this with my vibration versus being pulled down the rabbit hole. And based upon the comments that some of these other entrepreneurs have already put in, what do you think would be the best strategy? So if you think low ticket is the way to go, put in the comments, low ticket. If you think high ticket is the better way to go, put high ticket into the comments. So let's see what people have to say. Okay, so we've got Katrine, good evening from Germany. Welcome, great to see you here. We've got high ticket all the way, says David. My marriage almost ended over my vision and journey. I told my husband, Darren said it's possible and I'm going for it. Fit in or walk away. Either way, I'm going to the top. That is called boundaries, guys, right there. Okay. So that's phenomenal, Melody. Super proud of you, girl. Wow, that is phenomenal. That's great. Okay, so TJ says, I can't wait to get into Millionaire Mentoring. I'm excited to have you on board, brother. High ticket raises your vibration. Adri says hi. Facebook user says high ticket. Chrissy says high ticket. Aaron says high ticket. Melody, value, high vibration equals high ticket. Low vibration and tire kickers are low ticket. That is correct. That is correct. Jessica says high ticket. Ariel says high ticket, frees up more time. Fernando says high ticket. Facebook user says high ticket. High ticket takes the same amount of energy to make either sale. Truth be known, TJ, it actually takes way less energy, way less, okay? And here's the interesting thing that I'm going to tell you from raising tens of millions of dollars in venture capital, right? Because prior to doing, talking about quantum physics and manifestation and all the stuff that I do here, that's actually where I made millions and millions of dollars, was in raising venture capital and taking companies public and rolling out campaigns for public companies, okay? The person that's going to put in $100,000 or $250,000 or $500,000, this person typically looks at the bullets, okay? So they want to see the bullets of the deal, okay? Then they make decisions very, very fast. So they look at the bullets, they look at the market analysis, they look at the projections, they may ask a couple of questions or want to get on one call with the CEO, this guy, okay? The person that's going to put in $1,000 over here, oh my God, you're going to get 100 different phone calls. You're going to have like 1,000 questions to go through, and they may not even put the 1,000 in, okay? So the amount of work that goes in on this side is ridiculous, okay? A ridiculous amount of work versus the person over here that just put in $500,000 that maybe asked 3 questions. Now, which path would you rather be on? Think about that. Which group of people would you rather deal with? Okay, so let's see what the people have to say. Okay. Jordan says, high ticket because people are more motivated. You're correct. Low ticket, way more work. The newbies, high ticket brings different buyers. You're correct. I'm torn. Low is definitely not ideal, but isn't high ticket what got Digital Altitude shut down? That's at a different level, Lonnie. Truth be known, they were selling people that had no money and getting them to take out loans for $54,000 or $52,000. I can't remember what it was. It was 52 or 54,000. So that's at a level of a scam deal. So what they were doing is they were basically saying that, you know, hey, this is a complete turnkey thing. You don't have to do anything. Just drive traffic to this sales funnel and we'll have the people follow up for you. We'll have people close the deals for you. So they were bringing people in with this illusion that they were going to just make money hand over fist, okay? And all they had to do was just send the traffic. So what people started to do was they bought the 52,000 and then they took out loans and second mortgages against their house and spent another 50 to 100,000 thinking the thing was going to start popping like firecrackers, and they lost everything. Like I had people that would call me on the verge of bankruptcy in Digital Altitude that were $145,000 in the hole saying, Darren, can you help me? I'm on the verge of going bankrupt. Right? That's what got them into hot water. Now, when we're talking about the difference between a $100 product and say a $1,500 product or even a $5,000 product, right? And if the value that you get, if the entry price is here and the value that you get is actually up here, that is the secret, right? So when people come in and they're working with myself and my business partner, they get a ridiculous amount of value ongoing through our private Facebook group and lives and interactive stuff that's ongoing for them, that they go through transformation because it's not just recordings, right? There's interaction that's happening during the process. So at a certain point, Lonnie, especially when it deals with digital products, you know, when you get up into 20, 30, 40, 50,000, 100,000, that is a red flag, right, for the authorities to step in, because they feel that the general public is at risk of being taken advantage of, which is exactly what Digital Altitude was doing to the people. Okay, who do we got here? Okay, Idris says low for newbies. Okay, well, that's not necessarily true, Idris, because if they don't know what to do, then they're just going to spin their wheels anyway. Okay, so it's the mentorship, guys. It's the mentorship that is the value of what you want to be in, to know what to even do, to be able to go from, like, how did Josh Cousins go from, 18 months of nothing to the next 18 months he made $250,000, right, at 20 years old? What was different? Mentorship was different. That was the breakthrough, was mentorship. I need to set boundaries. I'm in a toxic relationship that's holding me back from success. You know, and that's something that you're going to have to actually, you know, ask yourself on whether or not that's the right path for you. You know, a lot of times what happens, guys, is people are in a toxic relationship that does not support their preferred state, but because of the human condition, they're afraid to leave something bad that they know is bad to just be by themselves. So they stay in the toxic relationship. So you're going to have to make a decision on if you love yourself enough, right, that you're going to protect yourself, protect your dream. And at some point in time, you may just find that, you know what, I want to be in a healthy relationship. I don't want to be in a toxic relationship, right? So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, Seth says, what about low ticket and high ticket? Then you have 2 entry points for people to get started with you. What are your thoughts? We already tried that, Seth. That's the data that I gave you. So there was price points of, you know, about 150, 350, 600, and 1349. That's the data that I already gave you on this particular broadcast. Okay, we already went through that. We already tested it. Okay, and I can tell you that we cut off all the low ticket products, and we only opened up the higher ticket. It's not high ticket, but it's, you know, over 1,000. A lot of people call high ticket. It's not really, but it was 1349 entry. And that was like 99% of the 425,000, right? So almost all the income came from the high ticket, and all of the stress and aggravation came from like $4,500. So is it worth it? You know what I mean? Is it really even worth it? Like, I can tell you, none of these people that were at this level, you know, went to another level. They didn't upgrade. They didn't show up, because it's not enough skin in the game, guys. It's not enough skin in the game. I sold sponsorships, some at 500, some at 15,000 grand to pop. The 500 took way more work and my time than the $15,000 guy always had for high ticket. Great points. High ticket are the ones who are serious about their personal development, and they are high vibe. My mentor, Paul Hutchings, spoke to this once, and nobody gets hurt. Nobody gets hurt mentally was a cornerstone of the HBA model. But I keep thinking about how Mark Hoverson said $1,000 is the minimum amount to have something scalable and profitable. You know, like I can just tell you that this from now, when you're dealing with tools versus mentorship, they're a little bit 2 different topics. So, you know, any type of products or services, guys, just so you know, you got to look at what the competition is charging. So, you know, the tools are different from the mentorship model. Millionaire Mentoring is different than a ClickFunnels tool, right? So if it's what I'm thinking about, it's a little bit different of a model. Todd's tuning in live. I don't know what that means. DA drained my savings. I was a newbie, lost my ass. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, TJ. Hopefully, you know, we can, you know, reach out is all I can say. I know we've been chatting for this past year, but, you know, you're just going to have to trust the process, my friend. I haven't had any experience on low or high ticket, but from what everyone is saying, I would definitely go with high ticket. Okay. DA wasn't the only company. There were dozens of companies pulling that crap. It kind of turned me off to high ticket, but I agree that 4 figures is a necessary revenue point, and value given exceeding money rendering is the key to sustainability. You're correct. It has to, what I typically say is this: the value that you provide has to completely dwarf the value of the entry price. That's the secret. Okay, so let me give you an example. There was a company called Explocial. Okay, they had $154.95 per month product, and I was the top income earner with that company, but I wasn't marketing the company. Now, how does that make sense? So they were doing discount travel, and they had these you know, you could get discounts at Subway and discounts on all these different products, and people were plastering that stuff all over their wall with the logo Explocial, 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 right? I wasn't. You couldn't see any of the logos and stuff. There was none of that on my wall. I wasn't talking about the company at all. but I had not only was I the number one income earner, but all the top income earners were on my team. So how's that work? Okay. While everybody was marketing this thing, Explosial, I was marketing the Academy of Quantum Physics Mind Mastery, which was a $5,000 bonus. So all of the testimonials came from this. So people say, I want that. How do I get that? You get that when you join this. Okay. That's the secret. We did the same thing in Exodus. So people are out there pumping Exodus Elite, Exodus Elite. We don't do that. We're marketing Black Ops Underground marketing, right? Which is the values up here and the entry prices down here. So it becomes the attractor factor because this is what people want. They want the value, guys. It's not about your companies and products and comp plans and blah, 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 blah. That I see people that come out of these quarterly events that they attend. And next thing you know, you got a 6-paragraph expose talking about the CEO and this and the comp plan, and I'm going to go to the moon, and with the name of their company and their logos and everything plastered all over their wall. I don't recommend doing that. You're literally eliminating 95% of all your qualified buyers because as soon as they come to your wall, you're branded as that company. I don't recommend doing that strategy at all. That's the broke people that do that strategy, just so you know. Okay, people want easy with the least amount of effort. People need to have passion in the work they are doing. Then it's not work and something they love. Correct. I've been spinning my wheels with low ticket. I can sell the products easily, but the attrition rate was killing me. There you go. You know, this is what I'm talking about, Lonnie. They're not in it. They're not in it to win it as a career. A career. That's the difference. High ticket people, because they understand they're investing in themselves and they know their worth. When you believe in the product, there's no price too high. Josh made the investment into himself and made his dream a reality with mentorship. Yes, he did. Do you consider $125 per month to be low ticket? It sounds like you're talking about one-time sales, whereas I sell a monthly membership. Okay, so let me just share this with you, Lonnie, to shift your mindset here. I just got back from Funnel Hackers. Okay, like 2 weeks ago, I was in Nashville, Tennessee. There was over 5,000 people that flew in from all over the world, and roughly 1/3 of the room committed to $1,497 a month. Not one time, $1,497 a month, plus 4 quarterly events to keep them on track. Okay, so which type of entrepreneur would you rather deal with? You got to up your mindset. You got to up your game to the 7- and 8-figure level. I mean, heck, Russell Brunson is approaching $1 billion. Okay, so which zone do you want to be in? I can tell you the low ticket zone where it will just literally drain you of all your life energy. It will drain you. Okay, drain you guys. Okay, let's see who we got here. Basically, it boils down to what is your best life worth? Lonnie Hogan says, good point. High ticket all day, says Dylan. Mentorship and mentor, they will guide you, the minesweeper, and tell you what to do, but you need to do your work. No cheating the process. Lock your spot! Lock your spot! Somebody's watched my video on that. Lots of people lost their shirts and then more with paid traffic with huge upgrades. You're correct. I struggled for 12 years trying to get sales without investing in myself. After I got a mentor, I got sales within a couple months, and the high ticket sales have been the easiest to get. I'm not in MLM, but always find value from you. Thank you, whoever that Facebook user is. Congratulations to them peeps. Awesome. Okay, guys, so hopefully you got some value from this broadcast today. Hopefully it's helped to shift your mindset to realize that high ticket is actually way easier. Okay, way easier, guys. And what you're going to find is that people that you're hanging out with in this zone are going to do this to your energy and give you wings versus this to your energy and completely drain the life energy out of you until you are completely flatline. And I'm not kidding. So guys, if you want to start really going to the next level, if you want to be the next success story, if you want to see yourself going from no experience, we have one guy that got it past 800,000 that's been in Millionaire Mentoring. And, you know, it's paint by numbers, literally paint by numbers. And right now I'm taking another group of people under my wing where I'm going to explain these concepts to you so that it will completely shift your mindset and a veil will be lifted off of what you believed our industry even was. Okay, this is one of the most incredible industries in the world. It's all about personal development and leadership and becoming the best version of you. And if that sounds like something that you want to do, if you're in a state of transition right now, if you've reached a breaking point, if you're a combination of both of those things, and you finally draw a line in the sand and you say, I am going for my dream and that's it, period. Those are the people that go to the top. If that's you, reach out to me, send me a private message. Let's get you into the money. Guys, my name is Darren Little from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and let's go get it. Have a good one. All the best.